0.209 quicker than the local man on number 8, and that's Scotty Moyer. Then we've got Alistair Hugenbosom, and number 6 is Mitch Rees. Second row, Robbie Bugden, then Dan Medham, Jay Lawrence. The lights are ready to go out, and it's off, and it looks like to me an early hard start by Scotty Moyer, but from the outside, Mitch Rees is pulling the wheelie. Who's it going to be to turn one? Mitch Rees right round the outside of Scotty Moyer, just got it in there, but Scotty Moyer comes back, half a wheel in it as they come out of there. Then Mitch had it, but now it is back to Scott Moyer. So in third place, it's number 43, the M1 Motorsport Valvoline-sponsored Bridgestone shod too. Everyone else will be running Pirellis in there. There might be some Metzlers amongst the group, but I'm pretty sure everybody's on Pirellis except for the Bridgestone difference there. Right and third on the track at the moment. And is that Robbie Bugden there? Still recognising the colours. Robbie Bugden there in fourth place as they head up to turn 7 here at Taupo Motorsport Park. And once again, we're joined by John Dyson, already spreading out quite a lot. Somebody making a move through there. I think that's Jaden Carrick. Welcome back, Jaden Carrick. He was at not at the South Island Rounds due to machine blow-ups, but he's back here in action on the Barnes Jenkins Insurance ZX10 Kawasaki number 55. They disappear out of sight, but they're not out of sight of the Ctas screens. 2 cameras this time round with 3 static cameras, so that's a new thing for Grant Collingwood, and great to see him here at the New Zealand Superbike Championships for the whole season there, John Dyson.
Yeah, fantastic. We've got Grant and his Ctas equipment, get this video out to the people, show what we're doing here in New Zealand, all around the world. So coming out of the final corner, looks like we've got Scotty Moyer, Mitch Rees, Al Hoogie. See a hand up from Al Hoogie. Red flag.
Oh, red flag. Where's that going on? Red flag incident.
Looks.
Oh, we got a bike out there at turn 5. A bike out there at turn 5. Didn't notice that during the thing, but it is in a risky position. One of the problems we have here at Taupo is there's a lot of dust up there as well. Is that there's not a lot of flags out there, and it's simply a safety thing. The geography of the place doesn't allow flags. So if somebody's down at a corner and they're not movable easily, and there's a flag not right there, it can be red flag. So that's the situation at the moment. So we haven't completed 2 laps. So it will go to a full restart. We'll go to a full restart. Oh, I can confirm Robbie Bugden is down as well as Jay Lawrence. It was Jay Lawrence there. It's not Jay, sorry, we got the binoculars. Okay, so it's not him, but Robbie Bugden dropped it right up at the top corner there. So Robbie is back on his bike, wheeling back there. His visor's flapping around. So he'll have to wait for a pickup. Yeah, he's just disappearing off the track somewhere. Is that right at the top of the circuit? He looks like he's here. We're watching it on the screen. We've no idea where it is almost. Well, not no idea, but the pickup crew is going out there. My understanding is they will go back to the pits. Yes, they are going back to the pits, and they'll have to wait provisionally there.
1 minute 28.4 back to a 28.6, 8.8. It's going to be tight, mate. We've got an Aussie over here, and he hasn't turned up and beaten us up like previous years.
He's beaten his bike up, though. Had that crash. That's his second crash. But I tell you what, Robbie Bugden, 5 times New Zealand Superbike champion, sits on the second row of the grid. He's got his bike repaired. He's got his visor repaired. He's riding the Yamaha that, in replacement for Hayden Fitzgerald, was injured at another event. But look at it. It's Mitch Rees. Is he going to take the turn 1 here like he did last time? He took it from the outside before. He was on the outside, but he's taken it. But here comes Scotty Moyer, the local boy. Former lap record holder. He's going to go right round the outside, same as he did last time, but it is back into the front for Mitch Rees on the number 6. Now, we saw at the Taupo round of the New Zealand Superbike, the Suzuki Series, both Mitch and Tony Rees, Tony out during injury now, but they matched each other's lap time to the thousandths of a second. So here comes Scotty Moyer through there as they come out of turn 6 into turn 7 and takes the lead at Taupo, his local track there, J-Rod.
This is going to be a big one, isn't it? Like, see that? No wonder they had the big carnage down into turn 1 the last time when Tony and everyone got skittled down in there. They all want their little piece of tarmac, don't they? And they're all fighting for it.
That was at the Suzuki Series. I think about 5 people went down there, and that Tony Rees bike got smashed up quite badly. But there was a number of them. It was our Hugenbosom. That's at the Suzuki Series. It was quite. Oh, I hate watching crashes like that. You know, I hate watching any crashes. To be fair, it's my mates out there. It's money and all that sort of thing. Right, now, that Honda's faster down that long straight there, Jared. It's still a number 8, Scotty Moyer, but then we got the Honda, and he closes up under brakes.
On the move, he's really come through. He fixed up Dan Medham on the first bit, and then he's just off the back straight. He's got Chopper, so Chopper's unfortunately fallen back to 4th.
That Sloane Frost chopper. Al Hugenbosom won the opening race of the New Zealand Superbike Championship. Look at that. Change of position, yeah. Scotty Moyer run it a little bit wide, so Mitch took the advantage of it. Scotty almost got back. Here comes Scotty right round the outside at turn 2 here at Taupo. Alistair Hugenbosom on the M1 motorsport bike there in 3rd place, and we go back to 4th place there, and it is Sloane Frost. Then Daniel Medham, Robbie Bugden, Jay Lawrence, Jaden Carrick, Connor London, Jeremy Holmes. This is as they went across the start-finish line. That's the top 10. Rob Whittle, Brendan Coate. David Sharp's back out there. David Sharp had another crash there. DNS's Eddie Kattenberg and Jeff Rogerson. So out to the track action as they're coming out of turn 8 here, looking over towards the airfield, the glider airfield there, and they're going through turn 9, 10, and going to disappear off into the distance. We're going to have, there's an action replay here coming up, or have we just lost that action replay? We're trying to look at the Ctas screen as well. We go up to the top of the paddock there. Another Ctas footage there. 3 to 4 bike links between 1st and 2nd, and I reckon Alistair Hugenbosom's closed in there, John Dyson.
Oh, fantastic to see Al back on track after the crash he had a couple of weekends ago at Hampton Downs. But yeah, solid performer. Great motorcycle he's got under him there. The M1 Motorsport BMW. And strangely, as Spider said earlier, the only one riding on Bridgestone tyres.
1st, 2nd and 3rd, not really, not too much of a gap there. Mitch is keeping him very honest there. But yeah, like you say, Al has definitely come to play in this one. Chop's fallen back to 4. There's a little bit of a gap, but he's got Dan Medham right on his tail.
Yeah, looking the fastest lap for Alistair Hugenbosom on number 43. As I said, he won the first race at Ruapuna, and then he was so close in that second one there, was leading and dropped it at the last turn of the last lap, and the bike lost out from in front of him. But he also won, it was his first year in Superbikes last year, won a race there at Hampton Downs on the Honda CBR 1000. So now BMW mounted this BMW M1 Motorsport. They've got a long pedigree of motorcycle racing in New Zealand on the BMW all the way through the S1000R. Sloane Frost has ridden for them. He's won New Zealand Superbike Championship races on them. Of course, we had James Hugenbosom riding for them, I think, for a season. Al Hugenbosom, I've already said a bit about him. And Lyndon McGee, I think, won 3 New Zealand Superbike races, the Australian man. But right now, back on the straight. Where is that Australian Robbie Bugden? Had a win in the New Zealand TT last weekend in 6th place, John.
Yeah, again, great to see Robbie out. It's really cool that Yamaha bring Robbie over. He's got excellent pedigree, 5 times New Zealand Superbike champion, and he's no mug on that Yamaha. Took him a couple of laps to get used to it around Hampton Downs last weekend, but he takes the TT title a couple of weekends ago, and he's closing in on that leading group, I think.
From my memory, last weekend, 2 weekends ago, it was 0.06 of a second, I think he took the TT title from. That's how close it was. It was absolutely smashing racing. I went up there as a spectator, and at night time I was turning beer into urine during the evening and that, and having a good time, but it was absolutely smashing racing. Different as a spectator for me. You'd think I'd be bored as a midget at a theme park, not allowed on the rides because I'm too short, but it gave me a chance to look at individual riders, whereas as a commentator, you've got to look at everybody and give everybody a scan, so you can't look at the exact rider for a long time. But right now, we still have Scotty Moyer out in the front there, and he put in the fastest lap time last time, 28.277. Our lap record is held by Jayant and Hassan, 27.797, so we're relatively close to that. Now, I think John said while we were between races that the rules have changed, and they've really adapted the Super Stock 1000 class and deleted that from the New Zealand Superbike Championships, and now the Superbike rules. Now we've got to sort of talk to ourselves and go, is this a new class or not? Well, over the years, rules change all the time, so the jury's still out on that, but we're close to the overall lap record here anyway, and Scotty Moyer has held it before. It is currently held by Jaden Hassan, coming onto the front straight with 7 laps to go, and it is Scotty Moyer on the Penny Holmes, actually, is it still Penny Holmes this year? The Carl Vandermeer Builders machine close in behind him. Mitch Rees and Al Hugenboezem just a bike and a half length behind. Back to last lap, it was Scotty Moyer, the fastest lap on the track. It is now Alistair Hugenboezem, so amazing. I tell you what, a 28.486, a 28.474 for Mitch Rees and Scotty Moyer. That's less than a tenth of a second between those two riders. They're out of turn 5 there, and Hugenboezem is closing right up there on Mitch. Didn't get the drive out of the corner there quite well there, Jared.
The Suzuki has its little strengths and stuff. It seems to be jumping out in the corner a little bit better, but the Honda looks real good, especially coming into here and then scooting out onto the A1 GP corner. Look at that. Look at Mitch, just corner speed is immaculate. So each of them have got their strengths. This is one of Scotty's best tracks, but Mitch is not going to give this to him, and Hugenboezem's going to join in there as well.
Mitch Rees in the middle of there on a Honda right now. Out in the front it is Suzuki. Then we've got Honda, and then we've got Alistair Hugenboezem on the BMW. I'm also thinking Yamaha last year. When's the last time Yamaha had a high profile win in New Zealand at superbike level? No, it wouldn't be Tony Rees. It would be Dan Stouffer in 2010, 2011, the man that hit the cemetery circuit and was the first man in 41 years to win the outright big race of the day on his first visit. Back onto the front straight there on lap 6. It is Scott Moyer, followed by Mitchell Rees, the eldest son of Tony and Vicky.
The non-favourite one,
the non-favourite.
Yeah.
Damo's in Australia this weekend, so here's our Kiwi man, Alistair Hugenboezem. We go back to that bunch for 4th, 5th and 6th. Sloane Chopper Frost leads the New Zealand Superbike Championships by 47 points. He's sitting there being followed by Dan Mettam, and in behind him, Dan Mettam on the Commons K Road Suzuki GSX R1000, and Robbie Bugden on the Blue Crew Yamaha R1. So I knew Robbie had it in him last weekend. The first race, when I say last weekend, 2 weekends ago, at Hampton Downs. The first race, he had brake problems and had to adjust it. As I say that, there's a change of position. Robbie Bugden's gone ahead into 5th place there. John Dyson pointed out, I was watching myself. Hey, that back end wobbled quite a bit. Were you watching, Jared, or you?
Yeah, there's three packs, and Buggy seems to be pushing on. He just got by Dan Mettam. Isn't it good, though, seeing the different manufacturers? We've got a Suzuki, we've got a Honda, we've got a BMW, back to a Suzuki, and there's 3 different 3-packs all ready to have a little dust-up at the end of this race.
Yeah, the front 3 now look like they're stretching away from positions 4, 5 and 6 as we come into the little flip-flop chicane before the end of the lap.
We're 2/3 through the race there, 5 laps to go, and yeah, he's absolutely correct that. So we got the podium there having its own battle there. It's still not over. We've still got 2/3 of the race to go. Is that a yellow flag out there? There's a yellow flag out here at turn 1. In fact, turn 2, we've got a crasher there. So the yellow flag's out there. Out at the start-finish line, because they have no yellow at the bike is being picked up. The rider is away. He is okay, and it looks like it's Jeff Rogerson. In fact, that's Jeff Rogerson. Look at the front of his helmet. What's that? He puts a sock over his beard. He's got the big ginger beard there, but he's one of our Formula 1 guys. Great to see him out on the track. Well, great to see him okay and walking back to his bike. So that yellow flag stays out. Back to the action over there in the hairpin. Turn 7 here at Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park. Still Scotty Moyer, then Mitchell Rees, and then Alistair Hugenboezem. Has he dropped off the pace? Because he's, in fact, there's that lightning cornering speed of Mitchell Rees there going through that thing. I know Mum and Dad are here. Damon Rees is off in Australia at Wakefield Park, I think, this weekend. So yeah, he must be the favourite one if Mum and Dad are here. It might have been about flights. Anyway, we're going to keep you up on them results for the weekend. But 4 laps to go. The bikes come out onto that long straight here at Taupo Motorsport Park. Absolutely sensational racing all the way through the season. A change of position there for 4th and 5th. Couldn't quite see who it is. That will be between Sloane Frost and Robbie Bugden. So is this the Bugden show coming through? He had a crash earlier on. It is, yeah, I think there was a change of position. So I reckon Bugden got ahead. He got ahead of Mettam earlier on. He got ahead and then it's changed back. John Dyson, what have you got on this?
No, Sloane Frost still in 4th place, but Robbie is charging hard. He's out of that second group of 3. He's putting in the better lap times. 1:28 3s, 4s and 7s up the front. and Sloan 129.1, and Mr. Bugden 128.9. So that's why he's squeezing up now. They seem like to be dropping off Dan Metum on the other Suzuki, but it's going to be an epic battle, I think, these last couple of laps between Scotty Moyer and Mitch Rees.
Mr. Bugden, that's very official. Great. Welcome to the commentary box, mate. Mr. Bugden, yeah, definitely 5 times New Zealand Superbike champion. And as I say, I knew he had him at Hampton Downs, and he proved me right there because of his pedigree in New Zealand. 5 New Zealand championships. I think he was out here for about 7 or 8 seasons, usually run by Peter Fenton in Christchurch on Suzuki's, and yeah, he runs Suzuki's. They later on, yeah, Triple R Racing, and great to see him back in action, and fond memories of him at every racetrack throughout the countryside. He's as hard as a witch's tit, this boy. The way he's banged bikes down and got up and kept on, a bit more polite, as hard as woodpecker lips. That's a bit more polite, but just a legend too at the racetrack. Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park. I try to read it down there. Thank you for correcting me. It's just my confusing head.
Do you think Chopper's sitting there and conserving this 4th position for the championship? Is this what he needs to do?
Well, I don't know. He sometimes struggles with setup, and he may have that, but he's also strong enough to know that setup isn't quite right. He'd like to be further up there. Everyone wants to win all the time, and right now, has it been a strong place for him, Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park?
Yeah, he firstly broke the lap record. I remember him when he first jumped onto the 1,000 and bought Stroudy's one, or got given it by Suzuki. Turned up here straight away back when Hayden Fitzgerald was doing really well on the Castrol Honda, and he just dropped the lap time straight away, and he's gone on. How many Superbike championships Chopper got now? Just the one. So he's wanting to try and this weekend put another one into.
Oh, we've got to change a position. We've got to change a position for the lead. I thought it was spread out. It was 0.34 of a second, which is not too spread out, but I'm pretty sure we had to change a position. Yes, it is. Yes. Mitch Rees in the front. Can he win his first ever New Zealand Superbike Championship race? Mitchell Rees. Yes, he's got many second places, but can he take the win here? As we're looking out down this long straight, we've got 2 laps to go. The white flag will be out, but right now it is Mitchell Rees on the Honda Rider Insurance thing. A braking duel there. He's just that little bit later on the brakes, and Scotty Moyer is a specialist round here now. Hugenboezem's got the hot seat there. So we're going to call him on the final lap,
last lap,
as they go across the start-finish line. The white flag is ready for them. The final lap there. And who's the fastest in that lap there? Scotty Moyer was a 28.672, a 28.54.6 for Rees. Red flag situation. So that is possibly going to go back a lap. I don't know where that crash is, but right now we've got a red flag situation. So that is going to be called because of the duration. It's a 15-lap race. It's already been restarted once. Forget about the earlier one.